we got to stop having that get rich mentality.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of get rich out there.
Yeah.
It is, but respect the game.
What up, though, and welcome to the Meech Show podcast, guidelines to get up off the sidelines. I am your host, Meech, and welcome back, y'all. So I am super, super excited about today's episode because I get to have an amazing conversation with my friend, Nasr Bey. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. So kind of introduce yourself and tell people what you do.
So my name is Nasr Bey. I'm the founder and CEO of Equal Events Blockchain Ticketing. And basically that's putting StubHub and Ticketmaster together, and we're trying to wipe out the competition that way.
Let's go. Let's go. So I'm like a stickler for like all things black. I think that's why I somehow migrated to Atlanta.
Right.
Because, you know, black is like the better version of everything.
Generally, right.
So what
we sauce it up.
We sauce it up, right? So what makes your platform different than like what we use typically? Ticketmaster and what else do we use?
StubHub, Eventbrite,
yeah.
Right? So basically, with that, that's actually a good question. So with them, they have a lot of fees, they have a lot of features, none of it is transparent, they're not really that secure, and they've been around forever. So basically, besides giving it some sauce to the ticket industry, we're actually merging it so that way people who create the events can actually make more money on the events as they create them. So right now we have the capability of merging Ticketmaster, who is your primary ticket market, and StubHub, which is your secondary, and I'll get into that a little later.
Yeah.
But we merge them, and basically we merge them, but with the simplicity of Eventbrite. And so even if you go on and use Eventbrite now, they're only going to give you so many features. Us, we have unlimited features. We're blowing them out the water, honestly, in features, like to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And not to mention, we actually have lower fees that you see. Our whole platform is actually built on transparency. That's our whole brand actually is transparency, so that way people know exactly what you get, how you get, and you know, everything else like that.
Like as a consumer, I know like I'll go buy like tickets for like an event, and it'll be like $20. I'm like, hell yeah, I got $20 to see, you know, my favorite comedian. And then by the end of the fees, it's like so many fees. It's like, nigga, just throw this extra $5 just because, like the surcharge. It's like all these fees. I'm like, do I even want to go still? Because now the ticket is $80, and what, that's out the budget. I had $20 to blow on my ticket, but $8, I just don't know. So this would also be good for the consumer.
Absolutely. So what we are is a true market disruptor, because we're actually going at the market from both ends, for the event creator and for the consumer in mind.
Okay.
Because not only when somebody creates an event, they also can create the inflation cap as well. So in that way, somebody who buys a ticket, they can't just go buy a ticket for $100 and sell it for $1,000. So if somebody says, okay, we only want people to make 10% off of their events, they can go on creating a ticket for $100, and the next person can only make 10% off of that, so on and so forth.
Wow, that would change the game.
It stops inflation, but also the key part of that is it makes it cheaper and more affordable for the consumer on the front end, but the actual person who creates the event and the artist or whoever it is actually gets a percentage of each transaction until the event happens.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen that happen all the time. Like even recently, Jasmine Sullivan was on tour. She came here to Atlanta, and everybody bought up her tickets and started reselling them for like $600, $700, $800, $900. And I love her.
Right.
But no.
I mean, so people have to understand that in the market, especially in the United States, because in the United States, ticketing isn't regulated. Like, you know, in Europe, it actually is a whole regulated market, because as much as, you know, gambling, and it is an investment at certain points in time. But here it's free market. So I think people have to understand that there is room for that, but it's just completely out of hand. And then not to mention it's out of hand, and nobody is really benefiting the way they should be.
Except the reseller.
Except the reseller.
It's like that with sneakers too.
And that's StubHub. That's the secondary. So basically, if you buy a ticket from for a concert from the stadium, that's Ticketmaster. That's the primary market. Okay. The second you have that ticket and you're selling to somebody else, that's the secondary market. That's StubHub. That's their whole business model. So now you cutting into that, you know what I'm saying? So just like you said, it really, and I know how you're going to relate it to sneakers because it is the same.
It's a resale, right? And
exactly.
It's uncontrolled,
right.
and it's like this $100 pair of shoes, and now they're $1,200. What you
$1 billion industry, along with the counterfeiting, and we're not even getting there yet.
Right,
so.
exactly, along with the counterfeiting. Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
So it's a good platform, even for events. What about events where it's just like you need a head count, like you're doing like a free event?
We can't charge on zero.
Okay.
Right, we can't charge on zero. And I actually had a friend like recently who was just like, he used Eventbrite, and I was kind of hurt.
Yeah.
I was kind of hurt, but at the end of the day, he was like, I didn't know how it would go, and so I could understand. But yeah, it's it doesn't cost anything, and the benefit of actually using our platform is you actually know who's coming before, they do. I mean, you have this capability with Eventbrite as well, but with ours, each person who signs up with the platform, they have their own wallet, their own profile, their own individual QR code.
Yeah.
So you know exactly who signed up, when they paid, everything.
Okay.
Who's coming to your event.
Okay, I've used Eventbrite before for events like in the past. I had this idea right as the pandemic was about to hit, like unbeknownst to me, but I had this idea like I should do like a single mingle because so many of my friends at the time were single. I'm like, y'all are all good catches, right? So I had like created this whole event on Eventbrite, and you had to bring an opposite sex single to the event, right? But I had put it all on Eventbrite is why I'm thinking this. And I'm thinking like this would have done so much better on your platform because there was ticketed, and it probably would have cost them, I was charging like $20 or something like that, $25, but it probably would have cost them like 40 or something by the time they got done with all the fees. And
at least 45, 50.
Right.
I mean, realistically, honestly, like, it does sound funny, but if you're charging like 30 or 40 or something like that, the ticket probably would have ended up being like 37 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, Eventbrite has a function to where you as the event creator can absorb that cost and just give the creator, the ticket as a flat fee. But
somebody's getting the fee.
Most people aren't doing that. They're just like, hey, pass it off to the consumer if you want to show up. And I understand that as well.
Yeah.
But then again, there isn't no transparency in that. And that's what our platform is. You see exactly what we're taking and how we're taking it.
So no one's getting over.
Exactly.
Okay, I love that. So what I also know is that you are in the field of crypto and day trading and all the things. And I'm very curious because this is like Spanish to me. I was just telling a friend this, like, I just don't know. And I think a lot of us just don't know. But it seems to not be going anywhere. So we should know, right?
I mean, everybody should know. I do think everybody should know.
We should know.
Right.
So like, where do we start? Like, okay, like what's day trading?
So day trading is when you actually buy and sell a security on that same day.
Okay.
Just like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not what I thought it was.
Yeah. I mean, it does. It goes also.
I thought it meant only the trading you did in the daytime.
There's also stipulations of like basically so many trades within a so many day period, and that will basically classify you as a day trader. But that's only happens when you actually are buying and selling securities on the same day.
Okay. So, what skill set does it take to trade? Like.
I think it is a science and an art, and I think it's just one of those things because you actually have people who are really good at crunching numbers, but are bad traders. Okay. You have some people who aren't, good at numbers at all and are magnificent traders. It really is a art and a science, and the art is the actual skill portion, the intuition, being able to understand the ebbs and flows of the markets, the news cycles, what's actually happening, because it's a ripple in the water type of thing. And basically you want to be the one, theoretically, to not only skip the pebble, but also be on the other side to catch the wave to surf. So it's just one of those things. So so the question is, how do you get started in it, or like what makes you good at it?
Yeah.
It's just understanding the market in totality the best way that you can, and not to really get caught up too much in these terms of day trading, swing, or scalper, things like that. Like, just do what makes sense for you, you know what I'm saying, and given that trade. So
if we're starting off, like, is there a too small amount to start off with?
No, I don't think so. It's harder.
Yeah, you gotta pay to play.
Do. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too, because if it sounds obvious. If you have more money to start off, you can make more money, right? It is. But it's a lot of people who do start off with a lot of money and lose it all.
Yeah.
And that is honestly, that's the cost of the game. That's education.
Yeah.
So there really isn't a small amount. I would say start with something that you're not afraid to lose.
Okay. That's a great tip. Start with what you're not afraid to lose.
Yeah.
Okay.
And understand, I mean, and understand to an extent, it is gambling. Because you're not making informed, educated decisions, so therefore it is gambling. So when you're actually going with the ebbs and flows of the market and you understand what's going on, then it's no longer gambling, you're just trading. And understand, not every trade is gonna work. It's okay to lose because everybody takes L's.
Yeah.
It's the game.
Yeah.
It's the game.
So would you say it starts off risky, but as you learn, it turns into more of a calculated risk?
Well, I think that if you start off in terms of risk management and mitigation, you're probably leaps and bounds ahead of most people. Risk management is the number one, I will probably say one of the number one traits of a successful trader. And
What's risk management?
Risk management is just understanding your portfolio in totality and then making trades that are calculated risks in terms of that trade respective to the total portfolio.
Okay.
So if you have $10,000, you don't want to necessarily make every trade a $2,000 trade.
Right.
You would like to mitigate your risk and say, okay, well, this is what I see and this is how it's going to work. I'll put 200 in there.
Okay.
And then, you know what I'm saying, because now you can have $200, but you can spread that $200 10 different ways now.
Yeah.
Instead of just one different way.
Yeah.
So now you're diversifying your investments and you're mitigating your risk.
Okay. Give me some keywords here. I feel like I'm getting a vocabulary.
I'm trying.
So is day trading the same thing as crypto?
You can day trade crypto. Crypto is the asset.
You just, my mind. Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's get to it then. Right.
You can day trade crypto.
Right.
Okay, so you said something about securities. Then what's a security?
So a security is what gets traded. So Microsoft, Apple, all the companies that you know.
Okay.
They are the companies that you trade. Oh yeah, I bought some Apple. I bought some Microsoft, right?
Right.
In the realm of crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all these different coins are the equivalent of the securities on the New York Stock Exchange.
Okay.
Except you just have those cryptos on exchanges that trade those crypto coins.
Okay. So you can day trade crypto. Okay, so crypto is another one that is kind of like,
Right.
for me, right?
Right.
Because when I think of crypto, I just think of like that one time I bought Dogecoin and nothing happened, right?
Be like that. It happens.
That's
yeah.
my extent of
I try
Bitcoin.
warning people.
That's my extent of Bitcoin. I had this friend, he bought it when it was like less than a penny.
Right.
And then remember when it like went up to 50 cents, he just was like,
Eating.
right? So excited. I'm
Right.
just like,
Right.
nothing happened for me. I think I lost a few dollars. So, crypto, what differentiates crypto from like stock exchange?
That's a good question, actually, and it's probably a pretty popular one. You have to look at crypto in terms of an asset, but not one that is actually controlled.
Okay.
So on the New York Stock Exchange, that is the stock exchange, right? So you're exchanging different stocks. So you have exchanges in the crypto world that exchange different crypto, right? Coinbase is one of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
And so in the New York Stock Exchange, we know these companies. Apple is ran by Tim Cook.
Right.
Microsoft is ran by Satya, I think his name. And then you have all these other like companies, right? That's who run those companies. With crypto, there is nobody that runs them. They're decentralized entities. So they are assets that you're actually able to use. So how Microsoft, it builds things that you're kind of able to use, and that's what makes their price and stuff goes up.
Yeah.
Same thing in crypto, but except it depends on what they do and how they do it. Same in the New York Stock Exchange, but except there's no one person in charge.
I would say, who's the they?
In crypto?
Yeah.
The they is the governing body, which is the token holders.
Okay.
So that's why I said it's an interesting conversation and topic because in the world of blockchain and cryptocurrency, let's just take Ethereum, for example. You basically have Ethereum, which is a platform, a blockchain platform, which is built on smart contracts. So now people can take this token and this platform and they can build on top of it. And so with them building on top of it, more people using it make the value of the token go up.
Okay.
Right? Then that's just the very surface level to draw the conclusion to your question. So that's how it works, and as far as pricing and things like that. So you will want to trade, even though this asset has a lot going on, you can bottle it up and say, well, the price regardless goes up and down. So being as though the price goes up and down, it's still an asset that you'll want to trade. So let's put that on the exchange along with Bitcoin. People can build on Bitcoin, but it still obviously has a price that goes up and down. It's like gold.
Yeah.
So that's gold. So if I was going to correlate your question to companies in the blockchain to stock exchange world, Bitcoin would be trading gold. Ethereum would be like trading Microsoft. And let's see, what's another one? Ripple would be like trading Western Union.
Okay.
So basically you have the one-to-ones, but except these are corporate entities, and these are just entities that are governed by the token holders, the people. So it's a correlation, but it's not exactly the same.
Yeah, but it's similar.
Right.
Like the structure of it is similar. So the tokens, is that the thing where it's like a limited amount of those? What's the number? Is there a number?
Depends on the crypto.
Okay, like Bitcoin.
21 million ever. But only
There will
about,
ever be.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's a fair amount of them that is lost. And I always mix that number up. I'm pretty sure it's 21 million.
Yeah,
but
people have lost them.
yeah, and that's the thing, they're gone. So it's a fair portion.
Crazy.
So you have to think how that plays into the price, because basically that's saying instead of there ever being 21 million, there realistically will ever be 11 million in circulation, because maybe 10 million is really lost.
Yeah.
Forever.
This one guy said how his wife threw out his junk drive that he had all his Bitcoin on. He literally like went to where the trash is kept.
I would have looked for hours. I would have looked for days.
He looked forever. I would have divorced her.
Yeah. I mean, so it depends on what type of, because it could have been the drive to where it's like a hardware wallet and it's not kept anywhere else.
That's what I think it was.
Yeah.
Because to not have it is he lost all of it. And he had like several, like dozens of Bitcoins on there from like when it first started, and now was the time.
Yeah, we'd have been in
She threw it
counseling.
away.
I can't lie. I mean, that's
Counseling?
That's a conversation, like for sure. That's a long one. Yeah.
That is divorce worthy
that's
for
hurtful.
me, just so you know.
That's kind of hurtful.
Like you get what? Like yeah, he was like where they keep the trash looking. But okay, so you said that there's 21 ever made, probably will ever be like 11 million in circulation.
Ish. I mean, that don't hold me to it's
Ish.
just
Yeah, just like a number thrown out there. But like, so is it too late to like get in? Is it too late to get Bitcoin? Now that it's so much.
I mean, not right now. I mean, quite personally, I think out of where Bitcoin is right now, it's a great buying opportunity.
I didn't expect you to say that.
I mean, it is for relative to where it has been. It is a decent buying opportunity. It really just depends on what you're getting in crypto for. Is it a good time to buy Bitcoin? Sure.
Right. What do you mean? What's a good reason to get into crypto? What's a bad reason?
Well, I'm not saying good or bad reason, but I think when people are saying, is it a good time to buy or when should I buy, people are looking for like this grandiose, investment. And it's like, yeah, you're not going to get that in Bitcoin with the amount you want to throw in. Can you get that type of return in the crypto space still? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, for sure. So that's why I say like it depends on what you want to get in for. Like, are you trying to get in just for long term and say I only like Bitcoin and I only want to get in Bitcoin? Sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Get in Bitcoin. I think now is a decent time to buy as we speak of this date in April of the 15th.
Right.
At this time, right?
Great
where Bitcoin
time,
is hovering
right?
around 40,000. And I'm just saying that specifically because, like I said, I've been looking at the chart forever. So I've been telling people, yo, this point, no, did it get here? Wait here.
Yeah.
So at this point in time, But if you're, like a Bitcoin enthusiast, I mean, sure, and that's just what it's like gold.
Yeah.
Like you won't go wrong in the future by holding it ever. Like, will Bitcoin hit 100,000? Yes, without a shadow of a doubt, for sure. Will that be this year?
Who knows? So, okay, I have a question. So, I know someone who's into mining. Like, literally, he has all these loud ass machines that are mining.
Right.
Like, how are they mining? Why are they loud? Are they actually moving something in there? There's so many of
Moving
them.
them fans. That's what's making the noise.
Oh,
the
okay.
fans.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So he has like all these.
Is it cold? I hope it's cold in there. Should be.
Yeah.
Not that many.
Yeah, and then he's like obsessed. Like if you work for him, he'll like put one in your house and pay you. Like, you want to have one of these at the house?
I mean, he should. Yeah.
Yeah, but what is it?
What is mining?
Yeah, like what is he doing?
All right. So, mining is part of the blockchain infrastructure, and mining is only done on blockchains that have a consensus of proof of work. Consensus, I know. Consensus is how do we all agree, which is the blockchain, all the nodes, and the nodes are what secures the blockchain.
Okay.
But all those nodes have to actually agree and say the same thing at the same time. That's why it's decentralized. It's a decentralized distributed ledger. That's what blockchains are.
Okay.
So mining is what's helping the nodes secure the proof of work.
Okay.
So they're all reaching consensus by the mining. And when you're mining, it's on proof of, and this is a good question, so I'm trying to backtrack
Go
and
ahead,
then fit
I
it
got
inside
you.
here.
I'm here.
So when you're mining, basically it actually is, but in the realm of math.
Okay.
Because in proof of work, all it is really solving one big math problem. So if you think about it in terms of a realistic miner, a mountain, and a diamond being in the middle, the diamond in the middle is the Bitcoin reward. The mountain is math, right? It's a math problem. The miner has to actually dig through this math, but digging through the math is actually solving the math problem. And so basically, once that math problem is solved and that miner has that reward for that particular block, then he actually sends out a message to all the other miners and saying, yo, I got this reward, because they were all working on that same mountain. They were all working, but only one person gets it. So that's the thing. It's security, anonymity, and rewarding at the same time, incentivizing. So a miner is basically helping secure the network through the work that it's doing.
So we could all, like, you and I could both be mining, but you could get it quicker than me and then I get nothing?
So basically what happens is, as soon as I get that reward, all the other miners are just like, all right, cool. And then automatically start working on the next block.
The next thing,
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily need to get a reward, no. But more than likely, eventually you will.
You will.
Yeah.
What's
If
the
you have
reward?
Right, well, the reward for blockchain, for Bitcoin actually halves, and I don't know what it is right now, but it's kind of like really small. That's why people have to have more miners in order to get more power, to crack more blocks, to get more rewards.
Yeah.
Because it's
Is it rewarding? Is it worth it?
to get into it would be like really capital intensive to get into it right now. So I don't think it would really be worth it, but Bitcoin isn't the only proof of work blockchain out there. Ethereum also is proof of work as well, but it's changing over to proof of stake, which is another consensus method.
Okay. Different than mining. Okay, so I think I already asked you this and you already answered it, because I was saying, is it too late to get into crypto? I think we all have this misconception with anything that strikes big and it happens and like we see people succeed from it. We all have this misconception, it's too late to join, it's too late to get in, it's too late to do it. It's not too late though.
No. The question you asked before was Bitcoin, but for crypto, no.
For crypto, no.
I mean, we're still in the infancy stages, and that's why people keep saying, like, we got to stop having that get-rich mentality. Like, because there's a lot of get-rich out there.
Yeah.
It is, but respect the game, and eventually it'll come.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just like with day trading. Like, people are always worried about hitting it big with options, but take profits, minimize your risk. That was going to be Number 2.
Yeah.
Number 1 is risk management. And risk mitigation, step 2, take profits.
Okay.
You do that, you will never lose in the market.
What does that mean?
Take profits means take your profits. You see green, take it.
Yeah.
Like have a metric set up. Hey, it's went up 10% or it's went up 20% in my contract. Let me take these profits.
Cool, yeah.
And then get into something else.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. But by you respecting the game, you will get that big home run.
Yeah.
You just gotta, people just not respecting the game out here, so they gotta understand and really wanna learn and really wanna like invest time into it, because it's not for now. We're setting so much up for the future.
Yes.
Like that's my thing. I don't wanna be one of the people in the future and my kids are asking me, you know what I'm saying, when I'm blessed with them, like, Dad, where were you when the blockchain and everything was starting off? And I was like, oh, I didn't
I was
know
thinking about it.
No, I was knee deep, son. We was in these trenches. We was there.
I love that.
Yeah,
like I wasn't thinking about it. I was on it.
Right.
So another realm of all of this is NFTs, and I understand like it's art, like digital art, but that's as far as my understanding goes. What's an NFT?
Equal Events presents the Spades Collection, NFT coming soon. So
Shameless plug. I'm here for it.
So NFTs started on the Ethereum blockchain. They were like one of the first ones that started on the Ethereum blockchain. And so how I said you have Ethereum and its smart contracts and people can build on top of it. So when you build on top of Ethereum, you can either have your own coin or you can build an NFT on top of it.
Okay.
And these are like different standards of Ethereum token, because you have your Ethereum coin, but then Ethereum also breaks down into like sub tokens as well, and sub token like categories. NFTs kind of fit in one of those sub token categories. And so an NFT is a non-fungible, and I just wanted to explain all of that because you need the
back. Oh yeah, we're here for it. We're here to learn.
The background to understand where we at. So NFTs are non-fungible tokens.
Okay.
And so non-fungible means only one like, none other like. And so you could think of a fungible token would be the US dollar. We all could exchange dollars in here, right? They're all gonna be different, but it all equals $1. In the NFT world, non-fungible means that we all can exchange, but they're all gonna be completely different.
Okay.
And I guess I could break this down simplest as saying an NFT requires as much processing and power as shopping receipt paper. The same way, you know what I'm saying? The same sound effects, we get them here. Like, so the same receipt that you'll get like at the supermarket or something, they just tear off, right? It doesn't mean anything, you toss it out.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, like a regular token. That's something like that. An NFT is like your birth certificate, that good paper, that one-off type of paper. So it needs that type of processing as well. So that's kind of like the best way I can kind of like describe NFTs, honestly.
Yeah. Where does artists play into this though? Is that creating that authentic, one of a kind?
It's the authenticity traceability.
Okay.
It's basically saying, yeah, I guess I didn't answer the whole question, but NFTs basically are kept on the blockchain, so then that way they're always traceable. They're not in any type of order, but it's just all housed on a blockchain, so you can always see the original owner or the current owner or who sold and for how much. Every transaction about the NFT is always kept on the blockchain.
Okay.
So, my fault, what was your question?
No, I was asking, how do artists play into this?
How do artists play into it? So, artists, and this actually goes back to your topic of sneakers as well, with the counterfeiting. And you actually could look it up. Nike actually just opened up a lawsuit against StockX recently. But artists play into this because basically an artist can create either a hard, tangible piece of art that we can hold or art in the digital realm and put it on a blockchain with a QR code or something like that. And that painting and that piece of art will be tracked forever. But on top of that, that artist will always get a percentage of that piece of work forever.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it almost puts like a thumbprint, like not thumbprint, like a fingerprint on it.
Absolutely.
Just like identifying that this is what this is. And then forever you get paid from this.
Yeah, they always will get paid, and you know it's exactly their work. You know it's not fake. You know it's the real Picasso.
Yeah,
you know?
it authenticates it too.
And the Picasso estate will still be getting royalties for his work forever. Yeah.
Wow. I can draw stick people, and somebody will think that's art because.
I think somebody is drawing stick people right now.
Damn.
I mean, get in the lane. Hey, it's a lane. Get in there. Look, hey, just get in there. We put the sauce on it.
Cause like what? Forever? Like, I just look at those, like when NFTs kind of crossed my mind is when I looked at those like monkey series.
Bored Ape Yacht Club.
What are they called?
Bored Apes.
Oh, Bored Ape Yacht Club, yeah. When all those came up, I thought that was really cool. And that's when it kind of like struck my attention.
And that actually is a phenomenon that happened just because of pop culture and where we are in social media.
Yeah.
Once celebrities and things started buying them, then it became cool because they were like, oh, I'll just pay whatever because I got whatever price.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't, but Bored Apes actually didn't have anything going, honestly, at that point in time.
Sorry.
But as their money grew and they became billionaires, they basically...
It became what?
As their money grew and they became billionaires, they invested into the ecosystems to actually now have metaverse, merch, and they actually are building out. So they're respecting the game. It's not a rug pull. They're actually giving back to the community. They have an ape coin now. They have like airdrop. They have all types of things to really keep feeding the community, to be honest with you.
They became billionaires?
They did.
God damn.
Yep. It's power of NFTs. And that's, I mean, and that's the thing, like NFTs now is where DAOs will be in the future. You'll start hearing DAOs a lot more often, decentralized autonomous organizations. These are gonna be the next big things, watch.
Isn't there a DAO in the...
There's a DAO token, but it's not, I mean, there are a few DAOs right now, but they're not like big like that.
So what makes this one different than what you said we'll hear about?
I mean, no, just in general, that space, like the way we hear about NFTs is the way we'll hear about DAOs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that just blew my mind. The billion with the B. I love billion.
I know.
So like, I don't even know, how would you invest in NFTs? Would I buy the NFT and now I have a sub token?
No, you would just buy the NFT.
And then I own the NFT and what?
You just own the NFT. And then you can flip it or you can use it. I mean, a lot of these NFTs now are coming with IP like rights and everything because you do own the token. And that's a part of it. Like,
yeah.
So that was a two-part question. So let me get the first part of how do you get into it.
Yeah.
Basically, you have two places you can find them. You have OpenSea, which is Ethereum and Solana. And you also have Magic Eden, which is primarily Solana. And those are just the type of tokens you need in order to buy NFTs. Okay. So to buy NFTs, you do need a few things. MetaMask is a wallet that you need to interact with Web3 websites, which is what a lot of the websites will be coming up, which is where you buy a lot of NFTs and stuff at. So MetaMask, download a MetaMask wallet, go to OpenSea or Magic Eden. Well, actually, download MetaMask wallet and go to OpenSea. Download a Phantom wallet if you want to go to Magic Eden because they're different tokens. Different wallets hold different tokens.
That's good to know.
I know, yeah. So go there and then just do research. Like, it's a lot of research to kind of do NFTs, but you can buy one low price if you think it's a good team. And good team is very, very subjective. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different research like to do on different teams. I do offer a Discord and I like talk about these different things every now and then.
Yeah, where can we find that?
It's the starting spot, and I'll shoot you the link.
Okay, yeah, I'll put it in the description.
Right, and basically we just talk about all these different like ways to try and just get into the NFT space, or basically any crypto space, honestly.
Yeah.
And once you're there, you just do your research on your team, and you just buy your NFT there, and then resell it, or just keep it for whatever purpose you want to keep it for.
So when I go and I have like my wallet, they change my US dollar into a different type of money to buy this with?
So it depends on the website. OpenSea, you can actually, let me think about this, because they've made a few updates actually since like in the last couple months. You could go on and actually buy it with fiat, so your dollars, just like with your regular card. But the general way is to buy Ethereum first, transfer your Ethereum over there, and that's actually my fault, where I was getting to, is actually you're gonna need your MetaMask wallet. Then once you actually get there in the transaction, you need to transact in Ethereum or Solana or that token.
Okay.
But you need more than what the actual NFT is, and that's for the actual network fees.
Oh, okay.
And this gets into the conversation of gas fees and gas wars. That's like, so if you ever hear that term in the crypto space, that's what they're talking about, because when there's a popular NFT project, everybody's like trying to get it, but that actually is making these, that's basically executing a lot of smart contracts on Ethereum, and to execute a smart contract, you need what's called gas. And so basically, so much gas is being spent is making the actual gas fee on Ethereum go
What's
up.
the biggest gas fee you've seen? Like, what's fair? What's huge?
I've seen 300 in gas, and that's like easy.
Yeah.
But because you also have to think, it's tethered to the price of Ethereum. So as Ethereum itself goes down, price of gas will go down as well.
Okay.
So if Ethereum is super expensive, gas can be high as hell.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Cali high.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I've seen, if you can find, it depends on the project, honestly.
Yeah.
Because if the project is half a ETH, 0.5 ETH, Ethereum is worth 4,000, that's $2,000 that you know what I'm saying, that NFT is worth. The gas probably automatically is probably gonna be 300.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just gotta be prepared. I mean, honestly, I'm only saying
like a
all
tax.
this. Yeah, I'm only saying all of this. It don't matter the fees. I'm only saying all this just to be aware of it. Like,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
because
Just to
this
kinda know.
exists. Yeah, but it's like a tax or like a fee or whatever.
It's a network fee.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you
Okay.
buy your NFT, and then you have your IP rights or whatever, your art, whatever, your profile picture, whatever it may be. Like, it's a lot of dope stuff out there, honestly.
Yeah. I have an uncle, he's an artist, and I just really want him to create like a collection.
He should.
And then turn it into NFTs.
He should. A
Yeah.
lot of people should. I mean, you gotta think Beeple, he actually is an artist, and he releases a new piece of art like multiple times a day, every day. And he had, one of his first pieces was like all of those arts put into one piece. And he sold it for like, I think it might have been $1 billion, couple billion, like something ridiculous. It's like,
Something life-changing.
it's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous. Sotheby's, boy, Sotheby's hitting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, so your uncle's real old school though. So what if it's not a digital piece though? How can you do that with something physical?
QR code.
Okay.
Linking it. You know, there's a
Yeah.
lot of different ways to kind of just like link things these days.
Yeah, and make it digital. So are these all time-consuming investments? Day trading, crypto, NFTs, like, would you say they're time-consuming?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, with anything that you're trying to achieve greatness, is never in the execution. Like, it rarely is. It's always in the preparation. The execution is such a slither of what it is you're trying to do. So yeah, absolutely. Because just like Jordan, Damian Lillard, Kobe, the greats, right?
You gotta
like,
practice.
they spend hours and hours in the gym alone just to be able to hit that shot that we see in the 0.5 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it is. So I always think it's extremely time consuming just because of the research. Like earlier when you asked me about stocks, is it, you know what I'm saying, it's the art and the science. The science part is what's called fundamental analysis, and that's basically just looking at their books, looking at their 10Ks, which is their annual reports. Every publicly traded company has to report 3 10Qs, which is quarterly reports of their earnings, and then 1 10K annually. And so basically, I only say this because I would like the people to look at the world different, because a lot of the things and shit that we go through, publicly traded.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of these things, like your apartment, your shoes, the lighting equipment, cameras, publicly traded.
Yeah.
So we can actually have those companies pay for the things that we want.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like, think about like living in a rent, right? And let's say your rent is $1,000. You put an option in on a company, right? That's your apartment company. They're publicly traded. That option goes up 100%. Now they pretty much just paid your rent on their dime.
Yeah.
Through an option on their company.
Yeah, I've heard that before about like investing in the things that we want to own. Like, I've heard about that with like Tesla. Like, if there was a time if you took the money it cost to buy a Tesla and invested in Tesla, you would have been sitting on something pretty, you know?
But people always, hindsight is always 20/20.
Oh, always.
Right? It's always 20. And that's why I say like that whole risk management, because when you're looking forward, when you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, now you got different chances of hitting on different things multiple times.
Yep.
Same thing. But yeah, so that goes back to what I'm saying, like, it's fundamental analysis. That's the science part to it. And then you also have, you know, just basically those different parts that I guess you can kind of just like add to it. So the fundamentals, the technicals, the charts, and kind of just put it all together.
Yeah, so it is time consuming, but does it ever get to a point where you just butter with it, where you just, it don't take as much time? You know, like some things, like I saw this meme that was like, basically, it takes me 30 minutes to do this, but you're not paying for 30 minutes, you're paying for the 10 years. Do you ever get to that point where it's just like a shorter time, or is it always like consistently just like the same? Like you gotta keep practicing, you gotta keep studying, you gotta keep researching.
I think, yeah, thanks for reeling me back in. That's a good question, actually. Because I don't really track my time metrics like that. That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I would like to think that it really stays consistent, because that's the one thing I like about crypto in the market, is that it's just always changing. So I don't even have the opportunity to sit back.
To step back and be like, mastery.
Right. I mean, because you got to think, it's like, you know, with ticketing and basically the projects revolving, basically the project I have involved with Equal Events, then NFT research, stock research, like I do have to take time to kind of unplug, right?
Yeah.
And so by the time I plug back in, everything is different.
So, right.
Somebody at war, somebody sold all this crypto, and then so the landscape is like completely different every time.
Wow.
So I would like to think it really stays the same, because I have processes that I do.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do this. Let me write this down. I do it like in a really structured way. So
the whole time everything's moving. It's not like it's just sitting there waiting for you to come back.
No, that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Everything's moving.
Right.
Okay. So where do you see this? Like, where do you see crypto? Where do you see NFTs? Where do you see this all going in the next 5 years?
I see Equal Events as one of the premier ticketing companies. I see NFTs being, honestly, one of the major forms of transacting in a myriad of different ways. And crypto will be in a very interesting space. I think the landscape of things that we see right now, it won't be anything like we think it'll be. I think the metaverse, I think AR, I think VR, everything will start to tie back in, because those walled gardens like Apple has of like, oh, App Store and everything inside the App Store outside of here, you
can't do it.
Right, like I think that's gonna, we as the consumers, we just not taking that shit no more. We're like, why am I going here when I got everything I need over here? Like, I think is gonna be more acceptance into that, and how that will be adopted by the Fortune 500. I think that's going to be have its own little tale of tales, honestly.
For sure. So so for you personally, what's the biggest vision you hold for yourself?
For me personally, in totality, or like in the next, in totality? So I think about this, honestly, to become a billionaire, but not for the purposes of becoming a billionaire, I honestly just want to own a sports team.
Do you really?
Yeah.
What team? Dream team?
Philadelphia Eagles.
That's too easy.
Or the Philadelphia 76ers.
Definitely a Philly team.
Yeah, for sure. I think I probably got a good chance at the Flyers, because they might be the cheapest.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't watch hockey, but I'll buy a hockey team.
I love the Red Wings. I don't watch hockey either, but I just love the logo. You know, we have hockey up north. We don't have that shit down here.
Right, that's true, because you got ice.
Yeah, ain't no ice down here.
Yeah.
So you literally want to become a billionaire for the sole purpose of buying a sports team.
And I don't need to be a billionaire to buy a sports franchise. I think that's just the easiest way, because I just want to have the say over shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is your pushing thing, the thing that pushes you forward.
I'm done there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm done there. Yeah. I do have a stopping point, because I think that's what stops greed.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like a greedy person. Like, I mean, and the thing is, like, by that point in time, it may be a completely different game on the table. So I might be doing something else. I think owning a sports franchise, but it's also just like, it's a few things, because when you have a sports franchise, you are literally a part of the city, and I mean a very deep part. So I would be able to have like a lot of different grassroots projects. I'll be able to like help a lot more. I'll have a lot more say over what's really going on and do things like the right way.
Yeah,
you know
influence,
instead
all
of
that.
Exactly. Instead of just saying, oh, I own this and turning my back. Like that's.
Yeah, no, I own this and like it's a part of the city.
Right.
So there's a bigger vision.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's really, really dope. What about Equal Events? What's the biggest vision you hold for Equal Events?
There is one. I just actually can't say it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I just can't say it right now, honestly. Because it's the only thing I like to say is it would eventually like to be hands off.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Just hands off.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal with all
I would
of
like it
right?
to be for the people. Like that's the whole thing is built for the people. That's why it's really equal the brand, and events is part of what we're doing. That's why we also have merch and clothing and stuff like that coming as well. Because there's like a whole design thing that kind of comes with that. Like a lot of things really need to change, and it always seems like, you know, I have the idea to change it, but people's like, oh, that's just easy idea. But when I start really getting into the nitty gritty, they're like, damn, you kind of got it figured out.
You really thought about this.
So it's like, all right, well, why not just have this and just like, it really needs to be more equality around. So it's like, you know, we're right now the equivalent of what events should be.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're just trying to, you know, push through with the whole transparency and everything like that.
I love that equality. That's like what you stand for. It's
exactly.
like equality.
Yeah,
and taking
exchange.
that to different avenues.
Fair exchange. It's not saying people won't like everything. Nobody likes everything.
No.
But the best deals are the deals where both parties feel happy.
Yeah.
That's not saying things can't be expensive or things are going. No, things can be. You can pay $1,000 for something, but if you feel good when you pay that $1,000, that's a very fair business exchange.
Yeah.
That person felt good getting that $1,000. You felt good getting that good. Mm-hmm. And we need to get back to those terms instead of really
you feeling robbed because you felt like you should have paid $700, but you paid $1,000, and now you feel slighted.
You're right, exactly, and you're even thinking, damn, is it even worth this in the first place? And so we gotta start unpeeling some things. So that's kind of what,
Undoing and redoing. I love that equality. So events just falls under the whole everything else.
Right.
I can't wait to see this in other avenues because.
Oh, you will very shortly.
I can't wait. I'm here for it. I'm here for for all of our needs, events and otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put below in the description box where you guys can find
equalevents.io.
Yes.
That's on everything.
Yes.
Actually, that's on everything, but that is on everything.
That's on everything, and that's on everything. Well, I just want to tell you, is there anything else that you need to say?
I mean, got any questions? You got me. I'm here.
You answered like 5 of the questions I had before I could ask them. So.
Right. Appreciate that.
So that means you are very thorough, and I appreciate you taking your time. And I feel so much more informed. Seriously.
I mean, I think I first want to say I appreciate you for like knowing us, because a lot of people don't even know Equal Events. So I definitely know. When I looked at your podcast, I know, okay, she definitely does her homework. That's why I know this is going to be a good interview.
Yeah.
And like I said, you're definitely the homie for sure.
Yes.
But I knew for sure, I was like, no, she's going to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
You always do your homework, and that's what I appreciate most, because you're giving us the exposure, and we're also able to inform, which I think is, again, fair business exchange.
Yeah, that's fair exchange, right? That's what we about. I like that. That's going to be our new thing now. Be like, all right, that's fair exchange.
See, got to. Hey, got to.
That's fair exchange. No, I appreciate it just that you come here, because for me, it's just about like expanding my mindset, right? Like I grew up very limited and very boxed in, where everybody was the same and thought the same and did the same things, and it just wasn't a lot of options. And like I created those options for myself, and I still realize that there's so much I do not know, so much I want to be exposed to. You know what I mean? Like, and I just want to create the avenue where like my audience can just be like a fly on the wall to these conversations. And now we all walk away knowing, I feel so much more informed. Like I have vocabulary, and I can talk about it a little bit, at least enough to talk about it where I can even learn more, you know, so I appreciate that.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Come on down the rabbit hole. It's cool down here.
Right. For real. Well, I appreciate this fair exchange. I hope you walk away feeling like it was a fair exchange. And I thank you guys for tuning in. I so appreciate it. Come back. We're here each and every Monday. We're dropping jewels. I'm gonna drop some stuff in the description box below. There's gonna be links where you can find Equal Events, and follow us on Instagram, all the things, like, subscribe, share, all the things, because we're going to always be here dropping jewels. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
Peace.